Today I want to talk about 3 reasons why I don't use my phone for street photography. And for disclaimer, I do still use my phone for photos from time to time as a sidearm. The reason why I don't use it all the time like my camera is because the photo that it produces is just way too sharp and it has that phone HDR look. Now of course, we can always spend a little bit more time and play around with it in post in order to make the photo look good or at least a little less phone-like. But this is also kind of subjective nowadays because believe it or not, I actually had clients came up to me looking for a certain style and color in their photos. After going back and forth on an edit, it turned out that my client was looking for an over-sharpened iPhone HDR look. So this really depends on how you like your photos and everyone's taste is different. So yeah, the next reason is ergonomics. With the most recent design from the iPhone 12 and the 13, both has edge design, which makes it a lot better to hold in a hand, in my opinion. But there's basically no grip. It's still hard to hold and frame your shot right away. I always have to make sure that the phone is secure in my hand before I whip it out and take the shot in front of me, compared to an actual camera where there's a lot more grip with it. You can, however, take a photo with the volume button, but realistically speaking, it doesn't work very well because when I'm pressing the volume button with my index finger, I'm pretty much covering the whole camera at the back on the phone over here. So far, the best position I find if I want to take a photo with the actual button is to use my thumb down here and press the volume button as the shutter button. But honestly, it feels kind of awkward pressing upward with my thumb at the volume button compared to using my index finger for the shutter. And yes, there are many cases or pop socket for your phone so you can have a better grip and take photos with it. But personally, I like my phone naked. Last but not least, using my phone for street photography makes me feel lazy as a photographer. Using a phone to take photos on the street is so easy. With the tab on the screen, I can access to 3 different focal lengths on the phone. That's 3 different lenses I can choose from right away, effortlessly. Actually, I could adjust the shutter speed with the slide over here, but that's mostly for night mode. And yes, I know there are lots of third-party apps where you can manually adjust all kinds of settings for your camera on your phone, but everything is touchscreen, so it's kind of hard to adjust anything quickly, especially if you're taking photos on the street. The whole photo taking process is so effortless and it's like a shortcut. It makes me lazy and it starts to make me think less and less before I take the photo, and eventually it leads to lack of creativity. The thing about shortcut is that we won't be able to learn and improve abundantly with it, and sometimes if we rely too heavily on it, it's really easy to create bad habit and starts to affect the way we work and how we take photos. Overall, for me personally, the chance of getting similar or better results for every shot I take with my phone is not as high as compared to a proper camera. But of course, if you spend enough time in post or setting up the scene properly, you'll still be able to achieve similar results as a camera, but it'll require more time and effort. So here's how I look at my phone for street photography. It's more of a shortcut and a sidearm. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a tool that can fill in the gap when I don't have my camera with me. It might just be the only camera you have with you when you saw something beautiful in a normal everyday life.